us here tonight, and collectively, I didn't know we would all be up here. I think we all want to thank you, Mayor, Council, for the opportunity to serve on this committee and help to select the design firm for the new firehouse. I'd like to introduce...
what your names are?
Yes, I was actually about to do that. Laura, you know. Judy Ayala.
Yes.
Sorry, Judy. Mary Knapp. Matt Haynes, who's not here, he had something come up with work, and I just think it was an emergency type of situation. Gary Reed. Molly Floyd, who actually is in Switzerland today?
Yeah.
Somewhere else. And then myself, I'm Jim Berry, and I'm Planning Commission Representative on the committee. We also wanted to recognize a special volunteer, Dennis Phillips, with the Quandale Group. And Dennis provided us a lot of feedback and direction, especially as we got down to the point of making some very final decisions on the design firms. He really helped steer us in a direction as opposed to, I think, some mass hysteria that we were leaning towards. If I could, I'd like to give you a brief rundown of our timeline so you understand a little bit about our process. We had our first informal meetings in February and March. We kind of split because of committee members' schedules and not being able to really get together yet in one group. We spent a lot of time with Chief New and Assistant Chief Centers discussing the current challenges of the fire department, focusing on how to improve response time and best serve the residents of and visitors to our growing community. During our first two meetings, we took the time to tour the firehouse on Route 4, and we freely discussed what do you like, what would you change, what would you improve, and other types of questions with Chief New and Assistant Chief Centers. In early April, we began reviewing the initial 14 responses to the RFQ for the new firehouse. And with no interaction between us, no discussion, we individually selected our top 5 firms from that list of the first 14. The committee members were also able to take a number of tours of local firehouses. And some of those firehouses, and thanks to Chief New and Assistant Chief Centers for helping us get that set up. They included 2 stations in Liberty Township, a couple of stations in Mason, one of which was under construction at the time, which was really it was a good opportunity for us to see that. One in Westchester and another in Loveland and Sims Township. And all these visits took place between April 22nd and May 19th. As we made our choices for our individual top 5 design firm choices, we sent our choices to Ms. Stillman. And at our April 28th meeting, we spent a lot of time discussing. We found a general consensus between all of us, a fairly quick consensus, in our top 5. And we actually ended up adding a 6. We intended to find the top 5, and there was another one that was close enough that we thought, let's just make it an even 6. And our top 6 choices out of those initial 14 were Michael Schuster Associates, or MSA, VSWC Architects, Rick Swisher Associates, Brandstetter Carroll, CDS Associates, and Matrix Architects. All 6 design firms were invited to present to Mr. Brock, Chief New, Assistant Chief Centers, and the committee on the evenings of May 26th and 27th. Presentations lasted approximately 30 minutes, and with approximately 15 minutes of question and answer. We had 3 firms present per night on each night. After the presentations were complete, the committee members again privately considered the presentations and credentials of each firm. And at the June 9th meeting, we set out to discuss the presentations and our thoughts about each. At the June 9th meeting, the committee engaged in a fairly lively discussion, typically in agreement on most counts, regarding our impressions of each firm and presenter. The meeting minutes outline what was discussed in greater detail. If you haven't seen those, then we can certainly get those for you. At the end of our discussion, we generally agreed that presenting firms were similar in abilities, professional in their approach, and could or would execute the project successfully. We were still having a lot of difficulty in choosing what sets the final group of 6 firms apart from each other. And this is where Dennis Phillips stepped in and really helped us focus. He provided a great deal of direction to the committee during our evaluation and discussion phase. And as we were discussing differentiating factors between the final group of firms, he challenged us and asked us to set the 3 most important factors as we selected or we decided on a design team. And to that end, the committee agreed on 3 factors. One being responsiveness. to the city's needs during the design and building process. Second, experience in building fire facilities. And the third, relationships. Relationships with the firm's relationships with clients, consultants, contractors, vendors, etc. Using these three factors, we quickly came to a consensus on the final two firms. But again, we kind of deadlocked. We had a hard time between the final two making a decision. So we utilized the same three factors of responsiveness, experience, and relationships in discussing and determining our final recommendation. We ended up ranking both firms on a scale of 1 to 5, with 5 being the highest rank. At the end of our rankings, we had 2 firms separated only by a couple of ranking points. And with that said, the committee respectfully presents to City Council our recommendation for the design firm of Monroe's newest fire facility, Michael Schuster Associates.